All right, what's up, everybody? This is Rob Barrington here with Joel Wooldridge, one of the most amazing bridge players on the planet. So thank you for joining us, Joel.
And thank you for having me.
Welcome to the headquarters of LearnBridge.nyc. I know it's very impressive, so hold on to your seat here.
I'm a bit in awe.
So what Joel and I did, we played 12 hands against each other, and it's a new thing they have on Bridge Base called the Challenge. And I challenged Joel to 12 boards. And we played the same exact hands with and against 3 robots. So we're going to kind of go over some of the decisions that we had. For the record, Joel won. He won by 9 imps. And I am shocked that it was that close, actually. So I know you thought you lost, but you didn't realize the depth of my terrible bridge skill.
Well, ability to match my terrible bridge on the same hands, more like.
So we started out with board 1, and this is what I did. My handle on Bridge Base is NYC Pro. Joel is Fire Chief. So this is my hand. We had a little bit of a discrepancy on how we bid the hand. So this is how I bid it. I opened 1 spade. The robot bid 2 clubs, which is jury. Jury just says they have at least 10 points, and probably 10 or 11 because they didn't open the bidding, and spade support. And I chose to bid 4 spades. And it's because I just know we have game, and I didn't want to risk doing anything out of the ordinary or missing a game. But Joel took a different way here. After 2 clubs jury, he bid 2 diamonds. And tell me why you did that here.
Well, the reason that I bid 2 diamonds is when I'm in this spot, one thing that I like to do is I like to imagine what might partner have. And so I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe partner wouldn't open something like the ace, king of clubs and the king of hearts. I don't know. Maybe. And then I noticed on the footnote for 2 clubs that it's 3 or more spades. So possibly partner has a 4th spade. And so if that 4th spade includes no honors, my ace king should still take care of the suit because I have 6 of them. So I was thinking, well, this 2 diamond bid probably won't cause any harm, and maybe partner will do something to surprise me. And
yeah, that makes a whole lot more sense than what I did, because in my scenario, when I bid 4 spades, partner's always going to pass, right? They kind of figure, I know we just have game, but now I see where I went wrong. It's funny, I didn't even think about what partner might have. I didn't put him on a hand here, and that makes a ton of sense in hindsight.
Well, it's where you say you went wrong, but I mean, in actual fact, the miracle wasn't there. So
right. But I didn't give it a chance for the miracle, and that's as it turns out, we can't really make a slam because partner doesn't have the right hand. But we both got to 4 spades, and this is a board that I think tied on. We did the same exact thing. Mm-hmm. So let's go to the next board. Here we had, I think, the same exact auction. Yeah. We opened 1 diamond. Our left-hand opponent bid 1 spade, and our partner bid 1 no trump, and then it went pass, 2 spades, and pass back to us. Were you thinking of doing anything here?
Yeah, I was actually thinking over 1 no trump and over 2 spades. I was considering bidding my diamonds again, but the possibility of partner having 4 spades actually made it a reject for me in both.
Okay. And you're thinking more about like your defensive prospects versus 2 spades rather than bidding, right?
Yeah, decent defense. I have 3 quick ones, and the doubleton spade is a big factor because I know that their fit is probably limited.
So when we go back to the results, this is one of only 2 boards I won. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about this because I feel fantastic that I actually beat you on 1 board. We played 2 spades, and let's see how the defense went. Our partner led their doubleton heart. We kind of know this right away because it's a high heart, right?
Yep.
And it looks like it's the start of a high-low. So we cashed our 2 heart tricks, and we see partner complete their signal. And I'm guessing you led the 3 of hearts.
This is correct.
And that is because this is a perfect spot for suit preference.
I do want a club back.
Yep. We want
At least so I thought.
So, yeah, right, exactly. So you thought. And after we take the ace of hearts, we want to give our partner their ruff, and we want to make sure we tell them how to get back to our hand. So we're going to lead the lowest heart because in these situations, there are only 2 other suits that we're concerned with, and it's diamonds and clubs. We know partner's not going to lead a heart because they're supposedly out of the suit, and we know we're not talking about the trump suit here. So the 3 of hearts return, just says, hey, partner, I want you to return the lower ranking suit in the dummy. But instead, our partner gets their ruff, and then they draw trump. Why do you think they're doing that here? Not that we can explain what the robots are doing, but...
I guess he was just playing down the ace king of spades because he doesn't need another heart ruff. All right, he's got the ace and king, and maybe if by some miracle we had the queen of hearts, it would also be useful because declare would have a losing heart left in their hand.
Makes sense. And now we get to take a trick with the queen of hearts rather than getting it roughed in the dummy. And now they led the three of clubs. And we, at your table, thought way longer than I did. I took the ace because I'm not very good, folks. I just took the ace of clubs because it looked like the right thing to do. But we played the jack. And it's because of the three, right?
Yeah, it was really two factors. First, I wasn't sure what the default length lead was for Robot Bridge, if it was third, fifth, or fourth. I was thinking the three implied a four-card suit. And then also the fact that it was so low, I'm just used to my partner leading a low card only when they have an honor here.
Yeah, the robots' leads are kind of interesting in certain spots. And this is something that I blindly just took the ace, but what you're saying makes a lot more sense because it's the three, which usually is an attitude lead saying I probably have something good in the suit, but also I didn't even think about the fact that they probably have exactly four from this lead's perspective. And a quick count will tell us that declare has at least two clubs.
Yeah, so I got reeled right in. I think I should have reconsidered and done a hard count on partner's points to make my decision a little easier because I know Declarer has 6-4 based on the auction and the first few rounds of hearts.
Yep.
And if partner has the ace king of spades, what they've shown me, and two more queens, the queen of diamonds and the queen of clubs, then they would have 11 points and they may have bid more than one no trump to begin with. And so I probably should have not considered the queen fourth of diamonds in partner's hand and then taken my ace of clubs.
Well, based on this conversation, I realized that I need to think more when I play bridge because I didn't. I thought about partners' points, but not to the degree that you did. And what you're saying in hindsight makes a lot of sense. So I really was lucky to win imps on this board, apparently. Let's take a look at number 3. This was one I struggled with. We opened one heart as the south player. Our partner jumped to 4 hearts and east made a takeout double. And now we passed and west bid 5 diamonds and then it gets passed back to us. The question for me was, am I going to bid 5 hearts and why would I do that and why wouldn't I do that in some of these situations? And both of us had the same exact auction, which I was happy to see because honestly I thought I may have missed out by not bidding 5 hearts. But tell me, when you see these situations, what's the decision-making process and when are you bidding and when aren't you bidding?
Well, in this form of scoring, we're playing imps. Okay, so in imps, there's already kind of a leaning towards not taking a high scoring sacrifice, like a 500 save against a 620, for instance, just because the reward is very small. It's only 4 imps. But if you are able to beat their contract, it's a much bigger swing, right? If you go for 500 versus collecting 100, that's 11 imps difference, and whatever the net imps is even more. But
what do you mean by net imps? Tell me about that.
Just the swing difference between taking the bid and then collecting if you were about to go plus versus minus.
Gotcha.
And so you would have to calculate, the different possible outcomes. And so, there's a percentage breakdown when you go convert it into imps where you would need, significant odds in order to take a high scoring sacrifice versus match points, which is very different, where you don't care if you go down, 100, 300, 500. It's all the same as long as they had their same 620, right? And, if 40% of the time they go down one, you still got 60% of the time being a good sacrifice, which is different in imps, where if they go, down one 40% of the time, you're actually losing imps on a high-risk sacrifice like a 500 save.
That makes a ton of sense. It's kind of poker-like in that way. You're kind of doing an expected value problem in your head on the fly.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fascinating. I would have never thought, especially as far as the match point version, it makes a lot more sense. And what were you picturing in this particular hand when it was your decision after 5 diamonds?
And so when I'm thinking it's my choice over 5 diamonds here, I honestly wasn't really considering the sacrifice, just because I know that if 5 diamonds is making, it's probably not a big sacrifice that we're going to get like a really good scoring one, like a 300 or 100 point sacrifice, unless partner happen to have very short diamonds and maybe some help in spades. Then it could be very good, but it's unlikely to be that situation. So more likely we're off, say, the ace king of spades, the ace king of diamonds, the ace of clubs. That's 5 very easy winners, and then there could be a spade ruff to make it even worse, for an 800 point sacrifice to be like worse than their game. But I'm also thinking to myself, queen jack third of diamonds, ace king of hearts, queen 10 of spades. These are potential for 3 defensive tricks, and so if they're going down, it's obviously a really bad division.
Sure. And I think a lot of people in these situations just look at the colors, and they base their decision mainly on, okay, we're white, they're red, I should bid. When really you need to take a lot more into account when you're making these high level decisions, which are always tough, right?
Yeah, always tough. But generally speaking, close decisions for sacrifices are really better left for match points, I think. Imps, you only want to make a sacrifice if you're pretty darn sure it's a make for them and your sack is going to be worthwhile.
All right, board 4, we also had the same auction. And honestly, I'm so happy when I look at your results and we had the same auction. That's a win for me anyway, so I don't have to go plus or minus any imps. But here, I wasn't sure, because this doesn't come up too often when it goes preemptive opening bid, pass. I wasn't sure of the range. I absolutely knew I had good spades, so I was going to bid 2 no trump anyway. But we talked about this earlier. The range here is around what in this particular balancing seat?
So, I mean, in standard, I think most people would say that it's still 15 to 18, but it's kind of understood if you played the game long enough that 14 counts that are reasonable stoppers and, decent points are sometimes going to bid 2 no trump here anyhow, just to take the pressure off a partner balancing, in the first position, where they might not want to act when they have a balanced 12 count or something. And so since you don't have any suit to bid, right, seems like no trump would be the only option other than pass.
Right, and double's not even on the table because you're just flat, basically, with ace queen third of spades.
Well, if you did double, right, at least you wouldn't be perhaps over-describing your value, but you're not really heading in a positive direction because you want to play no trump over a suit.
Right, because you're going to end up playing in a 4-3 fit when you're 4-3-3, and it's not really going to help you too much.
I mean, that's certainly a fear, but also just this lead coming through the ace-queen.
Sure.
And then, even if you're in an 8-card fit, it probably might play easily as well in no trump, especially if you get a spade lead.
Yeah, and let's see, what did they lead against you? They led the ace of clubs, which actually is weird. Right? Wouldn't you always want to lead I mean, obviously the robots make weird leads, but just from a standard perspective, you would always want to lead a spade in this file, wouldn't you? Because you have an entry.
I'm not sure if a spade is necessarily the best lead because there's some inference from partner not raising you from 2 spades to 3 spades that they don't have a great holding for you.
Gotcha.
But I would never lead the stiff ace of clubs. I might be able to capture an honor with that, and also it could be my re-entry to the spade suit.
Right.
So I would lead either a heart or a diamond much quicker than a stiff ace of clubs if I were to take a shot, just because maybe partner has 2 entries and they could win, lead a spade through for me, take their second entry, lead a spade through for me, and then I still have my ace to get back in with to take the rest of my suit. So
it makes a ton of sense. I'm not sure how the robots work, but the ace of clubs just looks super weird on this hand. And I'm pretty sure they led, in fact, I know they led the same thing against me as well. They led the ace of clubs. And then they switched to a diamond, and it was relatively easy from this point forward.
Yeah.
Right.
Like tricks 1 and 2 look bizarre from my point of view.
The same here. I honestly thought during the play of this hand that, we had the shot to go down, except when I saw the ace of clubs get led, and then they switched. Because ace of clubs looks like a really devastating lead until they switched to a diamond, and you're like, okay, well, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at board 5. All right, so board 5, we differed, and I was probably a little bit too aggressive, but I want to kind of go through our auctions at each of the tables, and I'm just going to hide the rest of the hands for us. I opened 1 spade and partner bid 2 spades, and I decided, and I'm not quite sure, I think I saw that we were vulnerable and maybe I could get a little edge on you on this hand, so I tried for a game try. And 3 diamonds is essentially just saying, hey, if you have help for me in this diamond suit, I want to play game. And if you don't have help for me, I just want to play in 3. And we're always talking about spades here because we've already established our major suit fit. And my partner said they didn't have any interest, so we played 3 spades. And I went down 1. At your table, it just went 1 spade, 2 spades, and you passed. So why and why not? I know I was being a little aggressive, but I know you said you might have thought about bidding 3 diamonds here. What caused you to just let it go?
So I did think about whether or not I was worth a 3 diamond bid or not before I made my call. And a big factor for me on this hand was that partner was a passed hand and they had Drury available. Now in 2/1, when partner raises you from 1 to 2, that's usually a pretty decent hand, right up to a 10-point hand maybe.
Right, like a constructive raise.
Yeah. And so, sometimes with 5-4-2-2, 14, when it's very prime like this hand, you might want to make a game try. And so I would have probably opposite an unpassed hand bid 3 diamonds.
That is interesting. I never thought about that being part of the equation. But if partner wasn't a passed hand and had a bad raise, they can go through the forcing no trump in that spot, right? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, so if they had less than 8 points after a 1 spade opening, they can bid 1 no trump to kind of discourage partner from making a game try with a lot of hands, to make a delayed raise to spades, implying that they might only have a doubleton. Usually discourages partner from bidding too much more. When they have maybe a 6 count with 3 spades, and it's true they have a fit, but they don't have a good enough hand to support a game try anyhow.
Right. And now we know why when they're a passed hand, they're not necessarily going to have that flexibility with their raises, basically.
Yeah, and so their raises are a little different. And so some of those constructive hands, right, on the upper end at least, the good 9s and 10s can instead bid Drury.
Yeah.
Right, and the fact that they didn't bid Drury meant to me that they really should be limited to something like an 8-point hand.
Gotcha. Makes a lot of sense. I wish I had known that before this hand, because this was a big loss for me, folks. I lost 5 imps on this hand, and I am just in awe of the thought process that goes into when and when not to do this. So, thank you. We both saw another game try on board 6. And this was our partner making essentially the similar game try that we just made. We opened 1 heart with the south hand. Both of us had the exact same auction, and partner bid 1 spade. We raised to 2 spades, right? We have 5 hearts and 4 spades, so we're just showing our fit and our range. And partner bid 3 diamonds, which is a game try. Same thing as last time. They're saying, hey, if you have help in the diamond suit, I want to play game. If you don't, I don't want to play game. However, our hand is really good here.
Yeah. Jack 10 doubleton of diamonds, not ideal when looking at the diamond suit, as far as help for partner. But the rest of the hand, I think, makes up for it, right? We've got ace, king, 5th of hearts, and ace, 4th of spades. These are pretty strong holdings. And if partner has, an honor that's going to take a trick outside of their spade suit, then we can kind of see that, if spades run, we only have 3 losers.
And what I was thinking about too is partner is not always going to have less than 3 hearts, but almost always they're just going to have at most 2 hearts, and that's an opportunity to set up the long heart suit from our hand. Is that off base?
No, absolutely. Ace king of hearts are very important tricks in the heart suit.
So in this spot, when partner makes this sort of help suit game try, they're certainly interested in playing game, and that's enough. I think when you have a hand that's this good, even if you don't necessarily have the requisite help in diamonds, your hand is just so good that when partner makes any move to game, you just accept.
I agree with that. Also, the range for the 2 spade bid is a little bit wider than we're giving her credit for, because some of the time with a 3-card holding in spades, we might have raised 1 spade to 2 spades.
Sure.
And so the 4th spade is actually a pretty big boon. And, we've got fast winners in the majors.
Beautiful. And we chopped up on this board, I think. I hope so. Yep. Even, Steven. And now let's look at my disaster on board number 7. So on board 7, I had a massive disaster because I was playing this in kind of a... I'm making all my excuses now, by the way. I was playing this very quickly, and I was a little distracted. These are my 2 major excuses. And I had thought that I saw my right-hand opponent bid 2 spades. So I opened 1 diamond, West doubled. My partner bid 1 no trump, and my right-hand opponent bid 2 hearts in a suit that I have no stopper in. But I bid 2 no, and my partner raised. And here is where I considered bidding 4 diamonds, but I said, what the hell? Maybe the robot will screw up and not lead a heart, or maybe my partner has like jack third of hearts, so let's play 3 no. And as you can see from the hand, I did not make 3 no trump. But I got to tell you, I played it amazingly well to go down 2, considering what I'm looking at now. Because it looks like they have the first 7 tricks on a heart lead. So
yeah,
I did get a little bit lucky to only go down 2. Let's look at how you bid this hand, which was clearly much better. You opened a no trump, and I considered that.
Not so clearly better.
And well, it's something I would do at the club very frequently, especially if I'm playing with a client. I'm very frequently going to open a no trump because, shoot, I might just be able to take 9 tricks opposite a lot of hands, especially if it's kind of unclear what they should lead. So, I mean, I liked it, but tell me what you were thinking here and how you navigated your way to 4 diamonds, which is great because the robot helped a lot.
So this is the kind of bid that I like making, opening a no trump in this spot. And the main reason why I like it is because of that queen of hearts in my hand. I'm thinking, that's going to help stop the heart suit. If they lead a hearts, it's not over yet. Maybe I'll win the queen.
And the best feeling ever is when they lead like 4th best from ace king 4th, and you just take a trick with the hearts and you rip off 7 or 8 other winners. So.
Yeah, I mean that's nice to get a lucky result once in a while like that.
Right.
Can't say I don't like it.
So the West player bid 2 hearts, which the robots play capitalitis, so they're showing hearts in a minor suit. And the North player, our robot partner, bid Liebensaal. And this 100% of the time says, partner, you must bid 3 clubs. But guess what? You're Joel Wooldridge. So you said, well, forget that, partner. I'm bidding 3 diamonds. And what are you saying here? And would you do this with John Hurd or some of your other partners? Like, is this something that you would normally do?
I mean, yeah. Partner wants to play clubs. Good luck to you, friend. I have ace king queen jack 6 of diamonds. I'm not going to play clubs. So. Right. Yeah, you're going to have to deal with my 3 diamond bid and do the best you can. And
partner's going to figure this out most likely. I mean, there has to be a really great reason why you're just bidding 3 diamonds. I mean, you would guess Hurd might figure it out, but I mean, he's slow sometimes, right?
He is pretty slow. But even Johnny, I think, would pick up on this one. And so, yeah, I'm just saying, diamonds are pretty good. Yeah, let's play some diamonds.
And the robot is a hero on this one because now it goes pass. They balance with 3 hearts. And now you just pass, and partner for you bids 4 diamonds.
Yeah, that was, I guess, well judged. I'm not sure if I would have made that call just because of the balanced hand, but, they trusted me.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I mean, they saw your profile here. It says world class.
Yeah, maybe they just figured I would take another trick or something.
Well, they had the right person playing it for sure. So we had the same auction on board number 8. We both played 1 no trump. 1 no trump, pass. We played it a little differently, and I think I played more match point, even in an imp format, because the robot led the same thing at both tables, which was a diamond. And if I count my winners at this point, considering I just won the 7 of diamonds, I have 2 spades, I have 1 heart, I have 1 club, and now I can take 3 total diamonds, so that's 7 tricks. So if I just play diamonds now, I'm guaranteed to make 1. And in imps, for all of you watching this, your first goal is to always make sure you make your contract, and then you can go messing around for over tricks. I played on clubs because I guess I was greedy and thought I might be able to make more tricks, but we talked about this before, and I don't think I was fearful enough on this deal because...
Well, I mean, To be honest, the parlay for a club to go really awry would be something like 6-2 hearts with the king offside, all right, and they might be able to take 5 hearts if you win the first round of hearts, and then the ace of diamonds and a club trick if you duck a club into them. And so it's unlikely set of circumstances. So I don't feel like leading a club was really like losing a lot of what you already had, with your 7 tricks, but maybe a little bit of a risk.
Well, I would have been sick to my stomach if that was the actual deal, because now I've given up my sure 7 tricks for down 1 or 2 in a bad situation. So this is essentially what I did. I ducked a club, and they switched to a spade, which I won here. And this is me just trying to preserve my entry into the dummy with the ace of spades, so that if I get to set up clubs, which I do here, I can always enter the dummy. And now they did me a huge favor by leading a diamond. And bingo.
So at that point, I would say there's actually a greater risk of the clubs going 4-1.
Yeah.
Right. And now you would only have 1 entry to take the club suit, and they would still have control. And so now they would have 3 club tricks and a diamond and potential extra winners that they could take if they block the diamond suit on you. And so I feel like laying down the ace of clubs after winning the king of spades was actually more risky than the original club lead.
Wow, so I was doubly bad on this hand.
Well, I don't know about doubly bad, but I'd say that you went all the way.
Yeah, I went match point style in an imp game. That's how I roll. But in this spot, you're right. I haven't set up diamonds yet, right? So I haven't actually gotten to 7 tricks. So here I took just a ridiculous risk for no reason. Let's take a look at how you played it.
Well, imps is a very conservative game. And so, if you want to equate something, you might say that you brought like a grenade launcher to a knife fight.
Hey, you know what? I like to guarantee victory if possible. Bridge-wise, I can't necessarily do that. But here we won the 9 of diamonds in our hand. And was there a difference? What was your thought here, just to win the diamond in your hand rather than just win it? Excuse me. Just winning a dummy.
Pretty irrelevant, honestly.
Gotcha.
No real special thought process for that one.
But here you made, the better play of just making sure you get your tricks. And now they kind of gave you maybe a little bit of time here to mess around by leading back a diamond.
So them returning a diamond, it's not the scariest thing.
Right.
Right. Hearts running on me is definitely a real concern. But yeah, I'm saying to myself, well, I still have a double diamond stopper. If they want to return diamonds, it's going to take them a while to set them up. So now maybe I can shift my focus and try for another trick.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing is that the difference between the way we played it is you guaranteed you had 7 tricks right now. And now you got to search for extra tricks, which is really, kind of what you want to be doing, especially in an imps format. You're guaranteed to make your contract, but now let's go mine for some extra tricks. And here they gave you another really good opportunity because of who won that club.
Yep. The fact that West isn't leading through hearts means that I have some safety, because East can't effectively lead hearts without me winning the queen at some point.
Yep. And we are home free here after we played ace of clubs. And notice how much safer his play is than one we saw before. He can bang down the ace of clubs because if clubs aren't splitting, guess what? I still get to take my 7 tricks. Whereas the way I played it, when I banged down my ace of clubs, I didn't have 7 tricks. I hadn't knocked out the diamond yet. So here, we're looking at a super safe play. And when clubs split, bingo. We develop our extra tricks and we're home free.
So at this point, I'd like to back up for a moment.
Sure.
When West played the king of clubs, right, and then East played the queen of clubs, I should have actually inferred the actual club layout, right, because West wouldn't be able to afford the king if they had the jack.
Right, they can't play the king without having either 1 or king queen.
Yeah, and so the jack should be with East. And at this point, I really should have laid down my diamond before clearing the club suit. Just in case.
Just in case what? Tell me.
So just in case East had the lone spade guard and the king of hearts. Because at this point, if I had cashed my diamond before exiting the club and East had returned a spade as they did it, in fact, after winning the club, I would have a squeeze in the major suits against East.
So now, with the fact that you're running clubs, they have to actually decide to pitch spades or hearts.
Yes.
Interesting.
I get to make 2 discards, and it's a positional squeeze because I'm behind the hand that's being squeezed. I can make my choice after they've committed. But without clashing the queen of diamonds first, I've changed the positional squeeze to them having advantage because my queen of diamonds is cashed after I've already committed my own hand.
Jeez. Now that is deep thought. Can you slow it down a little bit and explain it a little more?
All right.
If possible.
So basically, when I led the actual club,
Yep.
right, in the end position, I had to discard 2 cards from my hand, and I would either stiff the ace of hearts, all right, and keep a spade, or void myself in spades and keep a small heart. But meanwhile, East can keep both the spade and the hearts guarded.
Because you haven't played the queen of diamonds yet.
Exactly. And so when I cross to my hand with the ace of hearts and lead the queen of diamonds, if they're following and paying attention to what I've kept, they can keep the appropriate counter card.
Gotcha. But when you play the queen of diamonds, you force them to pitch 1 already, and now when you're running those clubs, they have to pitch before you.
Exactly. So they would, in the 2-card end position, have to commit to either keeping a spade or 2 hearts. And if they keep their spade, I keep 2 hearts. If they keep their hearts, I keep a spade.
That is amazing. Well, you didn't do it, thank God. And it was. So that concludes part 1 of our Joel Wooldridge challenge. I hope you enjoyed that portion of it. Part 2 is right after this. If you're on the learnbridge.nyc website, it'll be right below this video. If you're looking at this on YouTube exclusively, this will be part of the same playlist, so it should start playing right after we conclude here. Part 2 has a lot more great decisions by Joel and poor ones by me, so don't forget to check that out. And we'll see you next time and in the next video. This is Rob Barrington signing off.